It's not every day that a super GM in a position where he is a rook up blunders and loses the game. It happened today at Tata Steel India 2023 to Vidit Gujarathi actually. It was in this position where Vidit is basically a rook up, but with some complications with this king not safe that he blundered into a losing position. It's going to be a treat to watch this game actually. Let's first see how we got here because it was a classic Sicilian counter-attacking chess in the opening and middle game. So let us see how it went. E4 with it was white, Sicilian by MVL, and we have the standard position and we have the nudge door. Bishop G5 chosen by Vidit. Let's go fast forward. So basically Vidit is getting ready to castle long and MVL already castled on the king side and it's going to be attack on both sides. Pawn H4, knight C4. Queen D3, engine wants you to take the knight, but okay, Queen D3, B5, G4, H6, bishop back and takes. Now queen comes in. Knight came back to E2 and B4 takes and queen check. So basically MVL counted on this to be good for him, but unfortunately Vidit had played well here. King D2 and queen takes and the queen is actually out of play. And it can get trapped and that's what Vidit does. Rook A1, brilliant move. He's threatening Rook B1, trapping the queen. And MVL is just stuck here. The queen can't get out. The pieces are not in time to help the queen. C3 is defended thrice. So that was very well played by Vidit. So MVL gave up an exchange to get out of there with the queen. And now Rook C8. Pawn E5 by Vidit. Takes and G5. Wow, Vidit is playing with energy. And now pawn E4. So basically MVL decides to open up his bishop by sacrificing a piece. So now MVL will be a full rook down. But he had no other choice, right? What else can you do? This is still coming. Rook B1 is still coming. If the bishop does not come out in time, he will anyway have to give up some material here, like with queen takes. So this was nice. E5 was another nice move. Basically closing out this bishop. Superb move. And now takes G5. And here MVL decided to give up the piece. So there is some pressure on C3, but Vidit masterfully plays knight E4. C3 is defended now by 3 pieces. The knight can't be attacked easily as well. And now bishop D4. Remember, this is still in the air. Rook B1 is still coming. So MVL has to keep time in his hand. He cannot let white make a normal, he cannot give time for white to make a move. Then Rook B1 comes. The queen went to H6 because if queen comes to D3, then there was bishop over here, bishop to B5. And now you will have to get the queen out of there and C3 becomes weak. So queen takes H6, bishop went back and queen came back. Bishop B5. And now rook to B1, queen went to E5, king C1, rook moves and now C3. So here Vidit would be feeling very happy with himself because his king will get a safe place here and his rooks can become active and the pieces are still happy. It's a full rook up. Here queen H2 was played and bishop C2. F5, knight went to G5 and bishop C4 and this is where Vidit made the blunder. But it's not easy to blame Vidit. We can't blame Vidit because as you see here, there are only 2 winning moves. And it's not that there are moves that keeps it equal. Every other move is losing. The third best move is -4. And the top 2 are +4. So Vidit blundered with king b2. He was probably expecting rook d2, rook c1. That seems fine. But he missed rook d3. MVL just uses the pin on this pawn. And now when the queen moves, c3 comes crashing down. But here comes the beautiful part. After queen e1, remember that Vidit is a full rook up. White is a full rook up. So this wouldn't be enough. Right? This is still a lot of material, even though king is not safe, which is what happened. But the winning move here for MVL is not rook takes pawn. It's not bishop takes pawn. It is the only winning move here is rook d2. That's a very tough move to play. The point being, after white defends the bishop, black plays queen d6. Another very tough move. Without seeing queen d6, we can't play rook d2, right? We'd probably take on c3 instead. Now, the point being, you can't play rook a4 because of bishop c3. If king moves, then rook takes bishop and you win back a lot of material. And if king takes, there's queen d4 mate. Nice checkmate. And if you move king to a3, then still bishop into c3 comes, crashing down the board. And d4 is also hanging. So that is why rook d2 was the winning move for MVL. But MVL couldn't find that. He had almost 4 minutes, but he played rook takes c3, which keeps the game equal. All three results are possible now. Because after takes, Vidit has two rooks and a knight for the queen. But his king is not safe. So if king was safe, this would have been winning for white. The two rooks and the knight for the queen. But his king isn't safe. And here, queen takes h4 was played, defending the bishop. Rook went to g1. Apparently, the better move would have been rook to d1, but okay. Rook g1 seems natural. Rook d1 is so difficult to play, allowing queen takes, king takes. But yeah, rook g1 defending the knight. And here, MVL played bishop d5. And this is where Vidit made the losing mistake, actually. And time pressure situation here, you have to remember. So Vidit had to cover this square basically. That's why he played bishop b3. He played this. The correct move would have been bishop to d3, keeping everything intact. Vidit was like he wanted to exchange of this bishop very, very badly. So he played bishop b3, almost forcing an exchange. But the refutation for bishop b3 is very beautiful. MVL found this pretty fast. It's a very nice geometrical tactic here. I mean, the bishop has to be exchanged, right? What else can you do? And then with it, there's two rooks and a knight for the queen. That should be winning. It's very easy for white to play this move, thinking that. And it's very difficult for white to see black's next move. That is queen check. The king has to stay connected to the bishop, otherwise, bishop takes bishop, right? So king goes to c2, and now queen check again. And king went to c3, now queen e5. So look at this nice triangulation. From here, it was here, sorry, it was on this square. From h4, it went to h8, came back to h2, and came to e5. And why is that important? Because now when the king goes to c2, queen check, and when king comes up, queen e3, and you pick up the bishop. From h8, you can't do that. You can't come to the third rank with check. But here we can by coming to e5. So Vidit was just one move away from getting a nice position. But unfortunately, that one move is enough for a loss. And so Vidit gave up the piece. And one more thing to note here is Vidit had one last chance that was giving up the piece here. And then going for rook takes pawn. Yeah, rook takes pawn. And there is some counterplay for white, even though it's a queen versus two rooks. It's around even, but black is winning. But there's still some chance. But okay, he went king c2, queen check, and now queen comes in, and the piece goes. And from here, MVL didn't have any problem. Rook a5 was one of the winning moves in that position where Vidit had blundered rook d3. But okay, queen moves to b2. Now knight h3, king f7, just defending the g6 pawn from the rook. King e3, and bishop c4, rook c5, and queen takes b4. And black is just collecting everything. Knight g5, king moves, and rook comes back. f4, king moves, a5. So the nice thing is there's still the pass pawn for black, and he just keeps pushing it. Everything is defended. You can't take on e7. Rook e1, and now e6. Again, everything is defended. King c3, just queen kicks the king away. Queen b3, king f6. Knight check, takes, and g5, defending the f4 pawn. And you cannot take here because the pawn game is losing. Rook went to h1, but just queen f3. Rook check, king f5, rook takes, and now queen check, and that was the finish. Because now he's going to play takes, and takes. 3 pawn up in game. So that was one crazy game in the third round of the Tata Steel Rapid segment in India.